Hello Internet, I'm HamsterBomb, and you are watching my explanation of how I managed to get my Pokemon Cute Charm game on my Heart Gold version to actually work. This is easily the most requested video I've ever had, which is kind of insane because I've had a lot of requested stuff before, but this has been requested almost on every single episode of Pokemon Cute Charm. And the reason people really want this so badly is they want to figure out how to get shiny Pokemon to appear in their 4th generation games about 20% of the time. It's kind of crazy. If you haven't seen any of the episodes of Pokemon Cute Charm, you can check the link down in the description below. I'm going to give you a link to the entire playlist. There's a ton of episodes of it. I'm going to be doing a let's play of the entire series, going through catching basically every shiny we can. And you can do this of any 4th generation game. I'm just doing it of Heart Gold. That's the one I happened to go for when I was doing my resets. There's a couple ways you can do this in your game, and it's really complicated. I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible because there's several ways that you can do this. I'm going to narrow it down to 3 methods. There's the I'm not cheating at all method. There's the I'm going to use an action replay but just to make it a little easier on me method. And then there's the you're cheating method. More than likely, you guys at first want to do this the hard way. You want these to be legitimate finds, or you just want to flat out cheat. It's one or the other. But if you want these to actually be legitimate shiny Pokemon the way that I did it, you probably want to do it either the first 2 ways. The second way really isn't cheating, but we'll get into that later. Now, there's ways that people explain this online on Smogon and things like this. I actually have Smogon's page up right now and I'm looking at it, and it's confusing to say the least. I was on here first trying to figure this out, and believe me, it made no sense. It's like really, it's just tough. Honestly, it's just really hard to understand all this stuff. So basically, what is going on in your game is what we want to do is we want to have a trainer ID and a secret ID that is determined the instant you start your game. As in, you completely started the game over, deleted your file, started a new one. As soon as you start your game, the game is going to create a trainer ID and a secret ID. Those numbers need to be close to each other, very close. I don't know how close, because sometimes you'll get in certain brackets is what they call these. I think they're slots or something like that, shiny groups, whatever. You'll show up in certain slots. The numbers that I fortunately landed on in my Heart Gold game were 10 apart, as in 14450 and 14460, just as an example. And I think there's another digit that I'm missing, but that's just an example. They were 10 apart. And by doing 10 apart, from what I understand, it lands you in the first bracket. Now, what those brackets mean is when you have a specific Pokemon with the ability Cute Charm out front, you will find Pokemon that if they have those natures that are in your bracket, they will be shiny. Which, fortunately, since there's only so many natures, makes that chunk of Pokemon shiny all the time, which is usually about 20% of the time. Awesome. Unless you landed in the 4th bracket. We won't talk about that just yet. But really basically, in that first bracket, which from what I understand is if you manage to get your numbers of the trainer ID and the secret ID, we'll talk about how to even see them later. If they are about 10 apart, you're going to land in the first one, which I was very lucky to even land in this one. And the natures that gives me is I get shiny Hardy, Lonely, Brave, Adamant, Naughty, Bold, Docile, and Relaxed, which is kind of cool. I really liked that one. It's actually not the one I would have picked first, but after I started playing Cute Charm a little bit longer, I really enjoy that one because it's got Relaxed and it's like my favorite nature. That's the one I guess all the time. Plus, the other natures are actually really good for a lot of Pokemon that I was going for, so that's really awesome. If you guys don't really care which one you even get, then whatever. I mean, it's just a matter of like which ones you get, because I think if you go then from 11 to 20, you're in the next bracket. This may be true, may not be true, and this is also counting numbers above and numbers below. So these ranges are really like a range of 20 different numbers. 10 above, 10 below, 20 above, 20 below, and then further about, and you know, it keeps going like that. The next chunk goes impish, lax, timid, hasty, serious, jolly, naive, and modest. That's group 2. Group 3 will give you mild, quiet, bashful, rash, calm, gentle, sassy, and careful. Once again, both of those are the same numbers. You're going to get 20% of shinies almost all the time. What's really weird is the last bracket. There's only one more nature left, and it is quirky. If you only want quirky shinies, you only want neutral ones, don't even want to mess with the natures, then you want to go for that last one, or maybe you'll just land on that last one. Randomly, a friend of mine and I were trying to make this work on my Heart Gold game, and he actually ran into one of these events that happened on his game. I think it was a Soul Silver game, and he managed to get in slot 4, which was Quirky. The only problem that we found with Quirky is it's really only giving you shinies about 1 out of every 32 encounters. It's much rarer, but it's so much better than what it is normally in the other games. I mean, shinies are normally appearing in these games 1 out of 8,192 encounters. Aside from the Masuda method in 4th generation, there is no way to buff that, from what I understand. And in later games, in X and Y, the 6th generation in general, Pokemon's shiny rates have actually doubled, and then even with a shiny charm, tripling it on top of the double chance, it's still nothing compared to what you can do in these 4th generation games while using this glitch. Some people call it a glitch, some people don't call it a glitch, but whatever, it's neither here nor there. Basically what's happening is the game is only allowing your Q-Charm Pokemon to draw out specific kinds of Pokemon. These are not RNG clones. These are new Pokemon that are appearing every time, which makes them legitimate. These do pass through a Pokebank. These are legitimate shiny Pokemon. The thing is, your odds at finding them are just cranked up, and it's just incredible. So obviously, you're probably like, really want to do this. It's hard. I can tell you it's really hard. And it's not just figuring it out that's hard. I'm trying to explain everything that you need to know in terms of understanding what is going on right now, and then we're going to explain exactly how we do this. And for the most part, I think we've actually gone through the what is going on. Your Q-Charm is really referencing, like I said, your trainer ID and your secret ID. So, basically, the first method, you don't want to cheat whatsoever. The only way to do this, just so you really understand what's going on here, you would need to start a 4th generation game over, and by 4th generation game, I'm just going to list them all so you all know what I'm saying. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. There are 5 games you can do this on. That is it. You cannot do this on anymore. Granted, there's a lot of Pokemon you can find in these games. And trust me, watch Pokemon Q-Charm. There's a ton of stuff you can get in any one of these games. It's kind of awesome. So, say you have Pokemon Heart Gold and that's the one you want to go for. You're going to start the game over. You're going to go through the introduction. You're going to do all that stuff until you can walk down the stairs. You start walking down the stairs, and I'm pretty sure your mom stops you. She says, "Oh, hey, there's a couple things on your menu down here that just popped up, and the save feature's there. You want to save." And then what you want to do is you want to open up your, what do you call it? You want to check your trainer ID. Write it down. Well, actually, on the original version, when you're doing this, you want to write it down when you're doing the second method. The first one, you can't figure out what your secret ID is anyway, and which is the biggest problem about doing this without using an action replay or cheating whatsoever. It's extremely hard. Your method is going to take a lot longer because you're actually going to need 2 4th generation games. There's no way to actually check what your secret ID is without going through stuff that's just way too difficult, as in like finding a shiny Pokemon completely legitimately, as in 1 out of 8192, and then actually putting it through an algorithm without giving it any EVs or anything to try and give you a couple possibilities of what your secret ID could be. Trust me, it's not worth it. Don't do it. You can't do it every single time you try for one of these games. So what you're going to have to do, if you want to do this completely legitimately, like you never even touch an action replay, you start the game over, you play all the way to the point where you can trade. Trade your starter for a Jigglypuff or something with Q-Charm. I chose Jigglypuff in my Q-Charm game. So you want to trade it for a Jigglypuff. The problem is, you don't know if your Q-Charm is working with male leads or female leads. Sometimes it needs only female Pokemon to appear that will be shiny, sometimes it's only male. You just don't know. It's really weird. So, you want to test with both. As in, say you trade your Totodile, Cyndaquil, Chikorita, whatever it is. You want to trade it for a Jigglypuff that is male. Just say it's male. Mine happened to be male. You trade it for a male, you run in the grass for a bit, and you do this for like 15 minutes or so. You know, it depends until you're happy, because you really want to make sure, just in case, you didn't land in the quirky spot where it's 1 out of every 32 or so chances. You don't want to pass one of those up, because it's still way better than anything else you're ever finding. So, you keep looking around in there, and eventually you're like, nope, not seeing anything. Then trade the Jigglypuff back over, get a female Jigglypuff. Do the same thing, keep running in the grass, just in case, you never know. Say you don't find anything. More than likely you won't. The odds are extremely low for your trainer ID and your secret ID to actually be this close together for this to work. I don't know the exact odds, I'm not a mathematician. I tried figuring this out before, honestly, because I've spent so much time trying to do this on my own game. I don't remember the exact odds, it's really hard to say, and honestly, I'm going to need your guys' help if any of you guys think you can figure this out down in the comments below, because it's, like I said, it's really complicated of trying to figure out which bracket you're showing up in, which one's male or female, or just what, it's just really hard, okay? Just forget about it. So that's what you're basically doing. You're starting the game over, going to the point where you can trade, trading for a Jigglypuff, or whatever Q-Charmer you got, you're going to run in the grass, and it's gonna take forever. It takes forever to try even once, okay? Doing this 100% legitimately without one of these dreaded things, the action replays, you're in trouble. You're really in trouble. So, my second method, which is honestly what I did, used this, but not in a completely cheating way. This is really just bypassing a lot of time. So what I did is I actually had the action replay in my game, and as I started this game over, I had a cheat active that when you push, I think it was like L and R or something like that, your money turns into your exact trainer ID, it turns into your secret ID number. Then what you can do is immediately, after you have started the game, you check your trainer ID, you're like, okay, got it, you write it down, then you L and R, look in your money, is it within, I'd say like 100 or so. If it's that close, fortunately mine was actually within 10. It took forever for me to get to that point, but it was actually within 10. So that was awesome. But the thing is, if it is within about I want to say 50 or 40 actually, now that I think about the numbers, I'm not entirely sure. You want to try and test that game. And what you would then do is then go all the way through, trade it with another 4th gen game. You want to get the Jigglypuff in, both a male and a female, run around in the grass, try and find some shinies. If they start appearing, awesome, you did it. If not, you gotta try it again. And honestly, it's a lot of trial and error. It may take a long time. I'm gonna be honest, I got really, really lucky with this game, though it did take forever. A lot of my shiny Pokemon Hunt videos just kind of started slowing down for a while as I was trying to get this thing to work. So that is basically the second method, is trying to use this action replay to trick the game into showing you your secret ID code. Because normally, by any means, this is completely hidden from you, and you need to know what it is in order to determine if this works or not. Now, the only reason I know that within those numbers it will give you certain brackets is because I was actually messing with the RNG generator thing on here, trying to find other ways to do this, because technically you could figure out exactly what time you need to turn your game on or start everything if you were trying to make an RNG version, random number generated version of your game that's going to start and just give you the trainer ID, secret ID you want. You can try that. I think it's extremely hard trying to figure out exactly what time you need to start it. You set your game's time at the very particular moment, and then you set a timer the instant you stop it, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you try and start it at the exact same moment, to the millisecond even, and that can give it to you. That is extremely hard. I think it's a waste of time, honestly, trying to do that. I would try and do it the other way, method 2. Though, there is a problem with the second method, and you might notice already, you can't do it in a 3DS. There's no way you can do it. In fact, this Action Replay DS, from what I understand, doesn't even work in DSi's and all the other versions of the DS. It only works in my archaically old original DS, which right now is actually running Pokemon Platinum. It's extremely hard to get this to work, and honestly, this thing is so old it barely reads anything. Once you take a game out, it probably won't play ever again in there. It's just kind of scary. I don't like it. So getting this thing to work in there is very difficult already. And then getting my Pokemon Platinum to read inside of this is also very difficult because you put a cartridge inside the cartridge, so whatever. So it's really tough trying to get it to read, but once it reads that one time, you're gonna be okay in terms of actually starting the game over and over and over. So that's a bit of a setback. You have to do it on a really old DS. Alright, now, for those of you who just wanted to just say, alright, screw it, this sounds ridiculous. I just want to do it the cheating way. If I already have a working action replay, I just want this to work. Well, what you're going to want to do then, if you don't even want to make this legitimate whatsoever, you just want to flat out cheat. I just want it now, okay? You want to do that, you're going to have to get a code for your action replay that actually changes your trainer ID and your secret ID simultaneously, and it makes them the exact bracket you want within so many numbers. Guessing the bracket's going to be kind of tough, but honestly the hardest part is figuring out what that code needs to be. I have some old programs that actually could generate some of those codes and make you an action replay code that can just instantly give you the correct trainer ID, secret ID. I ended up not going that route. I didn't want to have the pressure of feeling like I actually cheated for my shinies. I didn't want to do that. So what you can do if you really, really want to, and you still have access to all the things I was talking about, sure, you can do that. You can go through this thing. I don't remember the exact name of this thing. It was like a PokeSave or something like that. I don't know. It was some program. And honestly, just for you guys who are really going to be checking this out, I really should find it for you, but the thing is, I don't know how to find it at the moment. Give me a second. Okay, yes, it's called PokeSave. And you want to find PokeSave, Poke, S-A-B, by the way, it's not S-A-V-E. You want to find PokeSave for whatever game you're doing, exactly which game, as in which language, which version of it. It needs to be very specific of which game you're doing. And then from here, you can then make your own codes by throwing in a couple things, like you want to change mainly the trainer ID and secret ID. Don't touch anything else. Honestly, just don't touch anything else. If you do this way, you can generate the code, and then from there you can manually input it into your action replay. There was some way before you can like plug it into your computer. I don't know. I'm not a cheater. I don't do any of this stuff. But from what I understand, that's all you've got to do. You get your code, you input it into here, it's into your game, and then boom, you're good. From that point, you should be able to start finding shiny Pokemon 1 out of 20% of the time. So this is really kind of a crazy video trying to figure out even how you do this. I know it's an insanely requested video, so I'm really glad I finally got to be able to do this for you guys. Now, I understand. It is very, very, very difficult to do this. Whether you are just straight up trying to cheat with the third method, you're actually resetting the way I did it by using the money glitch, or the cheat with the action replay to make your secret ID appear for you, or if you're doing it the long, tedious way, where maybe your resets might take, you know, you get like 1 out of every half an hour. That's insane. But hopefully, some of you guys are actually going to be able to do this for some of your games, because it took me forever, but I was able to do it and make a really awesome series for it. So, like I said before, the links for Pokemon Q-Charm are going to be down in the description below. If you guys don't even feel like doing it, you just want to watch my own series of it, there you go, there's that. But let me know down in the comments if any of you guys have any more questions about this, of trying to get this to work in your game, or if you actually got it to work in any of yours. Whew, I'd really like to hear from somebody who's trying to do this the long way without an action replay, because more than likely, you probably don't have one. This is kind of hard to come by nowadays. Plus, like I said, it only works in one of these DSs, which barely works anyway. So, I want to hear what you guys left down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next Pokemon Q-Charm video. Bye!